Alex Martinez stared out the viewport as the Allied fleet scattered. The Grax Armada had appeared without warning, their massive dreadnoughts emerging from hyperspace with weapons already charged. 3 Allied capital ships had been destroyed before they could even raise shields. "All ships, fall back to defensive positions," came Admiral Vreck's voice over the comms. The Taurian commander's usually steady tone now carried an edge of panic. Alex watched as the proud warriors of 4 different species, the reptilian Taurians, the crystalline Pholox, the gaseous Drin, and the insectoid Kree, all executed textbook retreat maneuvers. No one questioned the order. Captain Martinez, his XO, Olivia Warren, said quietly, "Our engines are at 82%. We can still maneuver." The U.S. Dauntless was smaller than most ships in the Allied fleet, a human vessel with barely a tenth of the firepower of a Taurian battlecruiser. But it was intact. "What about the colony?" Alex asked, pointing to the small planet below. "Extraction status. Still 17 minutes until completion," Olivia replied. "They need more time." Alex took a deep breath. Humans had only been part of the Galactic Alliance for 8 years. They were considered the weakest, most emotional, and most cowardly of all species. Their inclusion had been purely political. Earth happened to sit at a strategic hyperspace junction. "Helm, take us between the colony and that lead Grax ship," Alex ordered. "Weapons, prepare for defensive pattern Delta." The bridge fell silent. "Sir," Communications Officer Ryan Kelly spoke up, "Admiral Vreck has ordered all ships to retreat." "I heard him," Alex said calmly. "And we will retreat after those civilians are safe. Now execute my orders." The Dauntless moved into position as the rest of the fleet scattered. On the main view screen, Alex could see the evacuation shuttles still launching from the colony below. "We're being hailed by the Taurian flagship," Ryan reported. "Put it through." Admiral Vreck's reptilian face filled the screen, his scaled brow ridges drawn together in fury. "Captain Martinez, what is the meaning of this? I ordered all ships to retreat." "With respect, Admiral, the evacuation isn't complete. We're buying them time. Your ship will be destroyed. This is foolishness." Alex kept his voice level. "Perhaps, but we're not leaving civilians behind." The Admiral hissed in frustration. "Humans, always led by your emotions rather than strategy. Your sacrifice will be noted." The transmission cut. "Well, that was encouraging," Olivia muttered. Alex turned to his tactical officer. "Eric, what are our options?" Lieutenant Eric Barnes, a combat veteran who had served in Earth's military before joining the Alliance, studied his console. "The Grax ships are maintaining formation. If we can disrupt their approach vector, we might be able to force them to regroup. Helm, take us on a perpendicular course to their formation. Weapons, target their lead ship's forward shields with everything we've got." The Dauntless surged forward, a tiny vessel compared to the massive Grax warships. But it moved with a speed and agility the larger vessels couldn't match. "Firing solution ready," Eric announced. "Fire." The Dauntless unleashed its full arsenal against the lead Grax warship. The shields of the enemy vessel flickered but held. "Minimal damage to target," Eric reported. "But we've got their attention." Indeed, 3 Grax destroyers broke formation and turned toward the Dauntless. "That's right," Alex murmured. "Look at us, not at them." On a secondary screen, he could see the evacuation shuttles continuing to launch from the colony. 10 minutes more, and they'd all be away. "Evasive maneuvers, pattern Omega-6," Alex ordered. "Keep those destroyers interested in us." The Dauntless danced through space, taking occasional hits but avoiding the worst of the Grax firepower. The human crew worked with practiced efficiency, their movements fluid despite the fear evident on their faces. From the Alliance command ship, now retreating beyond the system's edge, Admiral Vreck watched with a mixture of confusion and reluctant admiration. "Why do they not flee?" asked his second-in-command. "They cannot win this engagement. They are humans," Vreck replied, as if that explained everything. They value the lives of individuals over tactical advantage. A weakness, his subordinate stated. Vrek wasn't so sure anymore. Perhaps, or perhaps something we have forgotten. Aboard the Dauntless, systems were failing as the ship absorbed more and more punishment. Shields at 37%, Eric called out. Hull breaches on decks 4 and 7. Automated containment holding. Alex nodded grimly. How much longer for the evacuation? 4 minutes, Captain, Ryan reported. We can hold, Alex said with more confidence than he felt. Helm, bring us around for another pass. As the Dauntless continued its desperate dance with the Grax destroyers, a message went out across all Alliance channels. It wasn't sent by Admiral Vrek or any of the other commanders. It came from Captain Nathan Ward of the U.S. Intrepid, another human vessel stationed 2 systems away. This is Captain Ward to all Alliance vessels. The human ship Dauntless is engaged in defending civilian evacuees from Grax forces in the Proxima system. They stand alone. We are moving to assist. Any ships with honor will join us. In the command center of the Taurian flagship, Admiral Vrek listened to the message with widening eyes. Sir, his communications officer reported, we're receiving transmissions from multiple human vessels. They're all converging on the Proxima system. The humans are violating direct orders, his second-in-command noted stiffly. But Vrek had seen enough. The so-called cowardly humans were the only ones who had stayed to protect the innocent. Something stirred in the old warrior's heart, something he hadn't felt in a long time. Helm, bring us about, he ordered suddenly. We're returning to Proxima. Admiral, the humans have shown us what it means to be warriors, Vrek said. We will not let them stand alone. Across the Alliance fleet, other commanders made similar decisions. The Pholox crystal ships were the first to follow Vrek's lead, their faceted surfaces gleaming as they turned back toward the battle. Then came the Kree swarm vessels, and finally, even the cautious Vryn cloud ships pulsed their way back toward Proxima. On the Dauntless, the situation was growing dire. Shields at 18%, Eric reported. We can't take much more of this. Evacuation status? Alex asked, wincing as another blast rocked the ship. Last shuttles launching now, Ryan reported. 2 minutes to safety. Then we hold for 2 more minutes, Alex said simply. That's when the sensors lit up with new arrivals. Captain, Olivia said in disbelief, the Alliance fleet is returning. All of them. The Grax forces suddenly found themselves facing not just one determined human vessel, but the entire might of the reformed Alliance fleet. Admiral Vrek's flagship led the charge, its massive cannons targeting the Grax command ship with devastating effect. All ships, protect the Dauntless until those evacuation shuttles are clear, Vrek ordered over the open channel. Then we drive these Grax vermin back to whatever hole they crawled from. The battle shifted dramatically. The Grax, expecting to face a retreating, disorganized enemy, now confronted a united, determined Alliance force. On the bridge of the Dauntless, Alex allowed himself a small smile as the Alliance ships formed a protective barrier around his damaged vessel. The last shuttles are away, Captain, Ryan reported. All civilians clear. Good work, everyone, Alex said, surveying his battered bridge. Helm, take us to minimum safe distance. We've done our part. Captain, Ryan interrupted. Admiral Vrek is hailing us. The Taurian's face appeared on screen, his expression unreadable to most, but Alex had learned to recognize the subtle shifts in Taurian facial muscles. Captain Martinez, Vrek said formally, your ship requires immediate medical and technical assistance. Fall back to our rear lines. Thank you, Admiral, but we can still fight, Alex replied. The Taurian made a sound that might have been a chuckle. I have no doubt of that, human, but you have already shown us the way forward today. Allow others to stand in the line of fire now. As the Dauntless limped toward safety, the battle continued to rage, but the outcome was no longer in doubt. The Grax, facing unexpected resistance, began to withdraw their forces. "I don't understand," Olivia said quietly as she watched the Alliance ships coordinate their attacks with newfound determination. "We were just doing what needed to be done." "Sometimes," Alex replied. "That's all it takes to remind others of who they really are." 3 days later, Alex found himself standing before the Alliance High Council on the neutral space station Concordia. The massive chamber held representatives from all Alliance species, their murmurs filling the air as Alex entered. He wasn't alone. Behind him stood Olivia, Eric, Ryan, and other officers from the Dauntless. All showed signs of the recent battle. Bandages, burns, tired eyes. But they stood tall. High Counselor Jean of the Phlox raised a crystalline appendage for silence. "Captain Alexander Martinez, you and your crew directly disobeyed orders from a superior officer during battle. This is a serious violation of Alliance protocol." Alex met the counselor's faceted gaze steadily. "Yes, Counselor, we did. And yet," Jean continued, "in doing so, you saved 3,417 civilian lives, and perhaps something more valuable still." Admiral Vrek stepped forward from his position among the Taurian delegation. "The humans reminded us of something we had forgotten in our centuries of tactical doctrine and strategic thinking. They reminded us that a true warrior protects those who cannot protect themselves." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the chamber. "For too long," Vrek continued, "we have dismissed humans as emotional, unpredictable, and cowardly because they do not seek combat for glory's sake. We measured courage only by one's willingness to face death in battle. But there is another kind of courage, the courage to stand alone when all others retreat, to place oneself in harm's way for those with no stake in your glory." The Kree representative clicked her mandibles in agreement. "A hive protects its young. This is the most basic truth. The actions of the Dauntless and her human crew have caused us to reevaluate our understanding of our newest Alliance members," Jean declared, "and of ourselves." High Counselor Mist, the Vryn representative, pulsed gently. "What say you, Captain Martinez? Did you act out of emotion, as we have long believed humans do?" Alex considered his words carefully. "Counselor, humans do feel deeply. We love, we fear, we hope. But on the Dauntless, we acted out of duty, the duty all sentient beings have to one another. To stand together against darkness. To protect life where we find it. A simple philosophy," Vrek noted, "but not an easy one to live by." Alex replied. The aftermath of what became known as the Battle of Proxima rippled throughout the Alliance. The story of one human ship standing alone against overwhelming odds to protect civilians spread quickly, inspiring others. 2 weeks after the council meeting, Alex stood in the observation lounge of the newly repaired Dauntless, watching repair crews working on other Alliance vessels that had been damaged in the battle. Beside him stood Olivia, her arm still in a sling. "I still can't believe they're naming a new defensive doctrine after us," she said. Alex smiled. "The Martins principle, that protecting the innocent is the highest calling of any military force. It's not really new, Olivia. It's one of the oldest human military traditions." "Maybe to us," she replied, "but it's revolutionary to some of our allies." The door hissed open, and Admiral Vrek entered, his tall frame ducking slightly through the human-sized doorway. "Admiral," Alex said, straightening, "welcome aboard." "At ease, Captain," the Taurian rumbled. "I came to inform you personally before the announcement. The Alliance High Command has approved a new task force, a rapid response unit specifically designed to protect civilian populations in contested space." "That's excellent news, sir," Alex said. "Indeed, and they have requested that this task force be commanded by a human officer." Vrek's scaled lips pulled back, and what Alex had learned was a smile. "Specifically, they have requested you." Alex blinked in surprise. "Me? But I'm just a captain." "A field promotion to Commodore has been authorized," Vrek explained. Your task force will include ships from all Alliance species, including 3 Taurian battlecruisers, one of which I will command personally. I'm honored, Admiral. But, no buts, Martinez. We need what you humans bring to the Alliance. For too long, we have confused aggression with strength and caution with cowardice. You have shown us that true courage often wears a different face than we expected. After Vrek departed, Alex turned back to the viewport, watching as a Pholox crystal ship maneuvered gracefully alongside a human vessel. Beyond them, the stars stretched infinitely. Commodore Martinez, Olivia tested the title. It suits you. What suits me is knowing we made a difference, Alex replied quietly. Not just for those colonists, but maybe for the whole Alliance. Outside, the combined fleet of 5 species continued its coordinated dance against the backdrop of space, united not by war, but by the simple, profound courage to protect. 6 months later, the U.S. Dauntless led a mixed fleet of 17 vessels on patrol near the border regions. Alex sat in the command chair, now bearing the insignia of a Commodore. "Sir, we're picking up a distress call," Ryan reported from his communication station. "Civilian transport under attack by pirates. Non-Alliance registry." "How far?" Alex asked. 2 light years. We could be there in 20 minutes at maximum warp. Alex noticed how every officer on the bridge looked to him without hesitation. The Kree tactical officer, the Vryn navigator, the Pholox science officer, and the human crew members all waited for his decision with complete trust. "Set course," Alex ordered. "All ships to battle stations." "Sir," the Taurian liaison officer spoke up, "these aren't Alliance citizens. Protocol doesn't require. They're people in need." Alex said simply, "That's all that matters. Isn't that what the Martinez principle is about?" The Taurian scales rippled in what humans had learned was their equivalent of a grin. "Indeed, Commodore. Indeed it is." As the fleet jumped to warp, Alex reflected on how much had changed. The Alliance was transforming from a mere political arrangement into a true community of species united by shared values. And it had all started because one small ship refused to abandon those who needed help. The Grax didn't forget the humiliation they suffered at Proxima. For a year, they were quiet, licking their wounds and planning. When they finally struck back, they did so with cunning rather than brute force. Alex was enjoying a rare evening off in his quarters when the alert sounded. He rushed to the bridge, where Olivia was already coordinating the response. "What's happening?" he asked as he took his seat. "Multiple distress calls, sir," Ryan reported. 3 different locations, all reporting Grax attacks on civilian targets. Alex's eyes narrowed. "Show me the locations." The tactical display lit up, showing 3 systems spread far apart. Each would take hours to reach, even at maximum warp. "They're splitting our forces," Alex realized, "making us choose who to save." "The Taurians are closer to the barren colony," Olivia noted. "Admiral Vrek's battle group could reach them in under an hour. And the Pholox fleet is near enough to help the mining outpost in the Deniv system," Eric added. "But that leaves the research station in the Altair system." Alex studied the display. "The research station. How many personnel?" "Just 42 scientists," Ryan answered. "But they're working on a new shield technology that could give us an edge against the Grax." The other locations. Barren Colony has nearly 8,000 civilians. The mining outpost about 600. Alex felt the weight of command more heavily than ever before. The Grax had crafted a perfect trap, forcing him to choose between a few valuable scientists, a moderate-sized outpost, or thousands of innocent colonists. "Sir," Olivia said quietly, "what are your orders?" Alex took a deep breath. "Contact Admiral Vrek. Tell him to take his battle group to Barren at maximum speed. Signal the Pholox fleet to protect the mining outpost." He paused. "We'll head for the research station. Should we request additional ships?" Eric asked. "No time," Alex replied. The closest reinforcements are days away. We go with what we have. As the Dauntless and its small escort of 4 ships jumped to warp, Alex couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. The Gracks were brutal, but they were also calculating. This felt too obvious. Ryan, get me everything we have on that research station. Who's in charge? What they're working on? Everything. While they traveled, Alex reviewed the data. Dr. Samantha Reeves led the team developing advanced shield harmonics that could potentially counteract Grax weapons. Their work was highly classified and potentially game-changing. "Sir," Ryan called out, "I've been analyzing the distress signal from the research station. There's something off about it." "What do you mean?" "The encryption protocols are correct, but the transmission pattern is unusual. It doesn't match standard Alliance emergency patterns." Alex's instincts flared. Slow to impulse. Hold position. "Sir," Olivia questioned. "It's a trap," Alex said. "The Gracks want us to rush in without thinking. They're not after civilians. They're after the shield research. But the distress calls may be real, or they may be fabricated. Either way, the Gracks are counting on us to follow our new doctrine without question." Alex turned to his tactical officer. "Eric, prepare a probe. Full sensor package. Let's see what we're really dealing with before we commit." The probe launched and immediately began transmitting data. The research station appeared intact, but sensors detected unusual energy readings. "Those are Grax ships," Eric confirmed. 3 destroyers hiding in the asteroid field. They're powered down, waiting. And if we had rushed in to save the scientists, we would have been ambushed, Olivia finished. Alex nodded grimly. "The Grax are learning. They're using our compassion against us." He stood up, moving to the center of the bridge. "But they've forgotten something important about humans." "What's that, sir?" Ryan asked. "We're not just compassionate," Alex said. "We're adaptable. Signal the fleet. New battle plan." The new battle plan was daring. Instead of rushing in to rescue the scientists, Alex deployed his ships in a pattern that would draw out the hidden Grax vessels. 2 smaller ships moved toward the station, as if beginning a rescue operation, while the Dauntless and 2 other vessels circled wide, positioning themselves behind the asteroid field where the Grax destroyers lurked. "Decoys in position," Eric reported. "They've taken the bait." On the tactical display, Alex watched as the Grax ships powered up and emerged from hiding, moving to intercept the seemingly vulnerable rescue ships. "Now," Alex ordered. The Dauntless and its companions unleashed a coordinated barrage, catching the Grax ships from behind. Their shields, optimized for frontal assault, buckled under the unexpected attack. "Direct hits on all 3 enemy vessels," Eric announced. "Their engines are damaged." "What about the station?" Alex asked. "Reading 42 life signs, all human," Olivia confirmed. "But there's something else. Grax energy signatures inside the station." Alex nodded grimly. "Boarding party. They've already infiltrated. Ryan, open a channel to Dr. Reeves if possible." After a moment of static, a woman's face appeared on screen. Her eyes were wide with fear, but her voice remained steady. "This is Dr. Samantha Reeves. We have intruders in the lower levels. We've sealed ourselves in the main lab, but they're cutting through. Hold on, Doctor. We're sending help." Alex turned to Eric. "Prepare the strike team. Full tactical gear." "Sir," Olivia said, "the Grax destroyers are hailing us." "Put them through." A Grax commander appeared on screen, his reptilian features set in a cold smile. "Commodore Martinez, how predictable you humans are. Always rushing to the rescue. And yet here you are, outmaneuvered." Alex replied calmly. "Perhaps, but my soldiers already have what we came for. The shield research will be ours." Alex smiled. "I don't think so. You see, there's something else you should know about humans." "And what is that?" "We plan for betrayal. Dr. Reeves, execute Protocol Omega." On the screen, Dr. Reeves nodded and turned to her console, entering a rapid sequence of commands. Throughout the station, emergency systems activated. "What is happening?" the Grax commander demanded. "The research data is being purged," Alex explained. "Emergency protocols. If the station is compromised, everything is automatically encrypted and scattered across 100 different Alliance databases. Without the proper authorization codes, the data becomes worthless fragments." The Grax commander's face contorted with rage. "You lie." "Check with your boarding party," Alex suggested. "I'm sure they're discovering the same thing right now." As if on cue, the tactical display showed the Grax soldiers rushing back to their transport shuttle, abandoning their mission. "You may have won this round, human," the Grax commander snarled. "But this isn't over." "On that we agree," Alex replied. "Now recall your boarding party and withdraw your ships, or we'll be forced to destroy them." After the Grax retreated, Alex led the first team to board the research station. The scientists greeted them with relief and gratitude. "You saved us," Dr. Reeves said, shaking Alex's hand. "And more importantly, you saved our work." "About that," Alex said. "Did you really scatter the data?" Dr. Reeves smiled. "No, that was a bluff. But it was a convincing one, thanks to you. The data is safe, and we're close to a breakthrough." Later, back on the Dauntless, Olivia joined Alex in his ready room. "The barren colony and mining outpost are secured," she reported. "Admiral Vrek sends his compliments on our strategy." "We got lucky," Alex admitted. "The Grax are learning to use our compassion against us. Next time, they might not be so easily fooled." "So what do we do?" Olivia asked. "Abandon the Martins principle." Alex shook his head. "No, we evolve it. Compassion with caution, protection with planning. The core remains the same. We stand for those who cannot stand for themselves. But we do it smartly." Olivia nodded. "The Grax don't understand that, do they? They see compassion as weakness. And that," Alex said, "will be their downfall." The final confrontation with the Grax came sooner than anyone expected. 1 month after the research station incident, the Alliance received intelligence that the Grax were planning a massive assault on multiple civilian worlds. Their fleet had gathered at a staging area near the border, preparing for what would be the largest attack in decades. The Alliance Council met in emergency session. Representatives from all species debated strategy, with many advocating for a purely defensive posture, protecting their own worlds while abandoning the neutral systems that would likely be the Grax's first targets. Alex sat quietly through the debate, listening as fear began to overwhelm reason. When it was his turn to speak, he stood and faced the assembled representatives. "We know what the Grax plan to do," he said simply. "They will attack the weakest targets first, counting on us to either abandon them or spread ourselves too thin trying to defend everyone." "Then what do you suggest, Commodore?" asked the Vryn representative. "We cannot be everywhere at once." "No," Alex agreed. "We can't. So instead of waiting for them to attack, we take the fight to them." Murmurs filled the chamber. "You propose a preemptive strike?" Admiral Vrek asked, his voice betraying no emotion. "I do. But not against their homeworld or military bases. That would make us no better than them." Alex activated the central display, showing the Grax staging area. "We strike here, where their fleet is gathering. We hit their ships before they can launch their attack." "That would require our entire fleet," someone objected, "leaving our worlds undefended." "Yes," Alex acknowledged. "It's a risk. But if we succeed, there will be no attack to defend against." The council debated for hours. In the end, it was Admiral Vrek who tipped the balance. "When humans first joined our alliance, the old Taurians said, we thought them weak, cowardly, unwilling to fight. Now we know better. They do not seek battle for glory, but they do not shy from it when necessary to protect others." He turned to Alex. "I trust Commodore Martinez's plan. My ships will follow his lead. One by one, the other representatives agreed. The Alliance would strike first. The battle began at dawn, ship time. The combined Alliance fleet dropped out of warp directly in the midst of the Grax staging area, catching the enemy unprepared. The Dauntless led the charge, its weapon systems enhanced with Dr. Reeves' new shield-penetrating technology. "Target their command ships," Alex ordered. "Disable, don't destroy unless necessary." The battle was fierce but one-sided. The Grax, expecting to be the aggressors, found themselves on the defensive. Their formation crumbled under the coordinated Alliance attack. From his command chair, Alex watched as the Grax flagship tried to rally its forces. "Open a channel to the Grax commander," he ordered. The reptilian face that appeared on screen was familiar, the same commander from the research station incident. "You," the Grax hissed. "This is not the human way. You do not strike first." "We're evolving," Alex replied, "just as you have. The difference is, we're not here to destroy you. Stand down your fleet. End this war before it begins. And if we refuse, then we will disable every ship in your fleet. Your choice." For a long moment, the Grax commander stared at Alex, measuring him. Then, slowly, he nodded. "Perhaps there is more to learn about humans than we thought. We will stand down." In the aftermath, as the Alliance fleet escorted the disarmed Grax ships back to their territory, Olivia joined Alex on the observation deck. "You took a big risk," she said. "Some might say it wasn't the human way." Alex smiled. "The human way isn't about never fighting. It's about why we fight. And how." He gestured to the stars beyond the viewport. "Out there are countless worlds with people who just want to live in peace. Sometimes protecting them means taking action before the threat reaches their doorstep." "The cowardly humans," Olivia mused. "Not so cowardly after all." "We never were," Alex replied. "We just understood something the others didn't. That true courage isn't about seeking conflict. It's about doing what's necessary, when it's necessary, to protect those who cannot protect themselves." As the fleet continued its journey home, word spread throughout the Alliance of the battle that never became a war, and of the humans who had once been called cowards, but now led the way to peace.